Alright, new workshop renovation part 7, and the first time recording in the new office. Last time we installed our pretty cool ceiling with suspended OSB panels and integrated spotlights. That made the room bright and comfy, and the launch room as well. Now it's time to finish the two rooms by installing the floor and the kitchen. Our decision was carpet with laminate underneath, which seems pretty weird, but let me explain. The bare concrete was pretty level and clean to begin with, except for a few places where we cut the tiles at the beginning and where a few floor outlets were installed. And leveling the entire area would have been pretty expensive, with the leveling compound being 25 euros per square meter. The whole area being 60 square meters, that's 1,500 bucks just for leveling, and without even knowing how thick the layer needs to be. But the main reason was heat insulation, because the bare concrete with basement underneath is cold. With laminate we could put a 5mm layer of insulation underneath, which is a little bit of heat insulation and levels out the remaining spots good enough. Insulation and laminate together was less than 10 euros per square meter and about 12mm thick, which we also needed to get to the tile level again. So perfect for our situation, and so we went shopping. Floor and food. This was actually one of the first decisions and purchases. As you can see from the construction site, there was nothing done yet. No walls built, everything is a mess, just us and our material. Impressive to see the weight of the whole flooring. Well, and then we just started. It's a simple, pretty common interlocking click system. Just the beginning is a bit painful when it's still too light and shifts all the time.
Grad rein, runter, hinlaufen, oder?
So we put the first two lengths together, kind of piece by piece, while figuring out a strategy for the next section. Eventually we got the first bit in with 5 to 10mm gap to the wall. From there we could pre-assemble the next section, cut some of the weird shaped pieces and click it in. Closing the gaps all the way then worked great with a small offcut and a hammer. Yep, that camera is recording. Here another section in detail. Assembling the boards, marking the length of the last board, and cut it with the jigsaw. I used a metal cutting blade because it leaves no tear out behind. And the offcut from cutting to length is the beginning of the next section, which ensures the seams to never align and be spread randomly. That's the process. In the doorframe we left a gap to the office floor because the two rooms might have different temperatures and humidities and thus will expand differently. Once the launch room was done, we did the same again in the office. Basically all the same, but with a great view from the ceiling. The last bit is again painful, because there you have to cut every piece to width and make weird cutouts everywhere. At least we now had enough experience already to get it on the first try.
Ah, der Kamera ist früher eingeschaltet, glaube ich.
Das war wohl nichts.
Cut that out. No. Like I said, first try. And done.
Sehr gut.
While it's very cheap flooring, it turned out pretty nice. But don't get used to it, because next Stefan and Robin installed the carpet. But who didn't record anything of that?
We didn't.
So who's disappointed that they couldn't see the process?
All of the viewers.
Well, we have 3 photos. But they did an excellent job. We used double-sided tape and it sticks perfectly fine. Really nice and incredible how much it reduced the echo. Stefan then did all the trim work. And I installed the transition profiles in the doors.
Nice.
With the laminate and carpet, we are now at the same level with the tiles, so there's no step. There's also one between the office and the laundry room. And a third in the laundry room for the kitchen area. There's a little bit of a height difference, but there are also profiles for that case. We got tiles installed at the kitchen area, and the kitchen itself is relatively new, but used and was free. Came with a working stove and fridge, and we bought a new dishwasher, sink, and countertop. Just getting water and power to there was a bit of work. The water part was done together with the new toilets, because the kitchen is directly behind this wall. For the power, I had to drill 2 holes to the basement. First one done and inspected.
Da kommt ja die halbe Decke mit.
And damn, did the second one turn out nice and parallel to the first one. Kind of proud of myself here. Up there now go 4 cables, 1 3-phase and 3 single-phase. And they come together here in this sub-distribution box with a fuse for each and its own RCD. The 3-phase supplies the stove, which is totally normal in Germany. The first single-phase is for warm water, because there we use an instantaneous water heater. And that draws 3.5 kilowatts by itself, so it needs a whole single phase. The second one is this one, supplying the dishwasher. And the third one is for these 3 outlets, coffee maker, finally. It's obviously not 100% finished, but a nicely functional kitchen. We of course also already got a table to sit at and the classic fruit basket. The last job before calling these rooms finished is shortening the door to accommodate the added floor thickness. Damn, so close.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of work went into these 2 rooms, but we made ourselves a nice little space that we like to work in. Here we have Robin's desk and setup in the office. This is Stefan's. And here's mine. Beautiful. Yeah, it's temporary. And with it now finished, we could start with the workshop area, which has already begun, and that's coming in the next video.